Howdy, howdy, and welcome back to Gale FFTCG. I'm Serah, your host, and today we're looking at the Opus 22 Wind Rarity Review. Please drop a like, let me know what cards you're excited for in the comments, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. It really does help out quite a lot. Firing straight in with Kane as our common. You know how I do it. If I like a card in a rarity, I'll select one of it. There are quite a few that I actually liked in Wind, but this card I loved the most. I'll be doing the same for a rare, a hero, and a legend in each element. And with all that being said, let's dive straight in. Oh, the Kane art. It's so pretty. I kind of want a full art of it. If I pull one, I'll be super happy. That's all I'm saying. So, 3 CP Kane. It's a Dragoon. It has haste, first strike. When Kane attacks, we choose 2 characters and activate them. And damage 3, Kane gains plus 1k. Not relevant on that last line of text, but oh my gosh, everything around it is incredible. Pros. The job is very relevant. 2. Good keywords. Haste and first strike. Pretty solid, all things considered. It generates extra CP potentially, or can activate 2 forwards that have already attacked, giving pseudo-vigilance. The cons, kind of easy to remove. It's out of Brynhilde range, but it's still fairly easy to remove with abilities, etc. Even that damage 3, if Kane gained 2k, this card would be insane. 3 CP, 8k activates things, and damage 3, that's kind of broken. The place that I'm actually most excited to see this card play is really the any deck that's running 4 CP Hooded Man and needs a copy of Kane in the bin. This is the Kane we've been waiting for. That is still mildly playable if we don't have Hooded Man out, but can also be fodder for the Hooded Man ability. So I think this card is just fantastic. In our rare slot is another card that I think is fantastic, but won't see a lot of competitive play, but it definitely will see a lot of casual play, I think, because it's just such a fun card. 3 CP Alexander, choose a forward you control and 1 forward opponent controls. During this turn, the damage dealt to the former is dealt to the latter instead, and if you paid CP to cast Alexander that was basically made by backups, you get to draw a card. That's really strong. A forward you control and a forward opponent controls, switching up any damage dealt to them is really cool. It's protection and removal in one card, and that's really strong. Summon speed interaction is always good. The leaving backups open for the draw telegraphs your plays. I think Wind is maybe the best place to just end a turn with some active backups that aren't doing anything, but it feels a little bit suspicious either way. So that's probably the only thing I would say about it, but I think this card is still a lot of fun. I love the design space that they're doing this with this kind of cycle of like cards that do really cool effects, but also like if you do it by, being reactive, you get a little bit more of a bonus. I really enjoy that. In our hero slot, we've got Enkidu. Pros. That job is super relevant. It's a job warrior. It's a 3 CP job warrior that can be searched off of Tyvis. It's really good to play Tyvis, search Enkidu, activate Tyvis's ability, play Enkidu, activate 3, and then you kind of just paid 2 CP to get 2 cards on the field and having 3 backups. That's really, really strong. Like, that just will set you up for so many turns where you can just basically just win off of the crazy amount of advantage you have in your opening turns. I'm so excited to play around with Enkidu and see what this card can do. That second effect of when Gilgamesh enters the field, you can pay 2, and if you do so, play Enkidu onto the field. It seems a bit niche, but I'm also not ready to count it out yet. I just haven't explored the avenue all that much. But yeah, somebody may do something really horrible and disgusting with that ability, and it becomes this cool new combo. Don't know. We'll see. And in our legend slot, you knew I was going to talk about this card. It's 8 CP Ace. This got spoiled ages ago with the limit break mechanic. but it's strong. It's a limit break, so it's going to be basically always there for Wind to have access to. Limit break 3, it's a Dissidia of Final Fantasy as well, which is kind of worth noting. I'm not sure exactly what the ramifications are, but there's a lot of these. When this DFF thing enters, it does the X, Y, and Z thing. So I think that's worth noting. I'm not exactly sure how that will play into it, but I have a feeling. When Ace enters the field, we deal 1k damage for each Wind character we control to all the Ford's opponent controls. It's a one-sided board wipe. That's really good. Wind is great at amassing characters at an alarming rate. So I think this is great, actually, that Mono Wind basically gets a guaranteed board wipe at all times. I think that's pretty helpful for the deck. And I think it's also pretty fairly costed. A Limit Break 3 means that you can use this and one other Limit Break for the whole game, and I think that's pretty fairly costed as well. The other thing that's really good about Ace in that second line of text, when Ace attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a Wind card, you add it to your hand. That's really busted. Just being able to effectively draw cards in a mono Wind deck, this card is going to be great. It's going to be broken. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a good card. The only cons I can think of, it costs a lot, but you're in Wind, you're going to be at 5 backups pretty quickly. And it's all in on the Mono Wind plan, but Mono Wind Storm's been around forever. It is what it is. I think this card is just great. I think it's definitely worthy of its legend status, but also I think Wind didn't really need another tool that it always has access to. But, maybe this is the shot in the arm when needed against the aggro decks. Maybe this does quite a bit to dampen the aggro decks. Who knows? I think time will tell just how good this card is. It's a good card, but I think there's some more serious ramifications than we're aware of at the current moment. But yeah, without anything left to say, really, I would like to remind you to drop a like. Let me know what cards you're excited for in the comments, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Really helps out a lot. Have a great day and a great rest of your week.